See, these two games are just in the middle of the set. I
Mm-hmm.
feel these were just my like the better, like closer games. Like
Yeah.
most other games were just 0-3 to him.
Yeah, so you want to find immediately whenever Steve counter hits you, you want to like kind of keep note of that, and then like we'll solve that. As things on, the first thing I'm noticing is the moves you're picking are already really big. Like it's going to be pretty easy for him to find these counter hits. Against Steve, your move set is heavily restricted. You're like forced to use a lot of jabs and like down back three, like maybe back two, but even then, it's pretty crazy because yeah, 2-2 pushes you forward in a way that back one can always hit you. 4-4 1+2 is similar, so yeah, sidestep two is also pretty slow. What move were you doing there when the counter hit back two, counter hit flicker two hits?
Uh,
Yeah, do like
God,
a try
I
to
think
pause
it
it,
was another 2-2, but let's
try to
see,
pause
two
it as
two.
quickly as possible right before the counter hit happens. Yeah, looks like a down forward one or something. So that's like
Yeah,
a
down for
so
one.
what Steve is doing there is kind of a timing check. Like you wake up and then if you hit a button, he's already doing
Yeah,
something, right? So
down for the one looks like
yeah, so already yeah, just a lot more blocking, and then the moves you pick. Down forward one is not a bad move to pick, but hitting it right on wake up is gonna lead to situations like this. Hmm. That's good. Even yeah, I'd be using a lot more down back three to get around the back one. Nice conversion. Nice. Mm. Yeah, running 1+2 is also pretty slow. A 4-1 is decent. Yeah. Steve, if you deny him the counter hits, has a really hard time killing you. So
mm.
that should be our priority is just not dying, and then finding the hits off of the his gameplay after, rather than trying to impose our own game plan on Steve. Usually never works.
Right.
Yeah, like this is all good. Yeah, and then he uses down forward two. He goes like -9, and you get an opportunity to fight back. Yeah, we want to try to find whiff punishes on down forward two like that because that's the biggest whiff he can give,
Mm.
or one of the biggest ones. Yeah, we don't really care about the low here. Like we just keep backdashing away. Down back three can get him out of stance if we need it. But yeah. Yeah, try to cover the whiff with that. But
Yeah, just being impatient at the very end there, just being really annoyed.
mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Yeah, so the way you play against Steve is really annoying. Steve gets to have control for free, but he has to
Mm.
prove that he can kill you while having that control, and that's usually pretty hard.
Right.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. I like just disengaging here. Getting away a bit farther faster is going to be important too.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Another situation where down back three is preferred low. Yeah, and then even the full crouch shield,
Mm.
crouch down forward one is a bit scary because back one can catch that. So
Ah, okay.
yeah, this is good. Nice. Feel like you'll find these as he attacks and is forced to slow down, like because the attacks are just hitting your block and he's not generating advantage.
Mm.
You'll find demo men like that. You'll find the little down back threes. But if you are trying to drive against Steve, it's really easy for him to find what he needs. So, you know. Oh, nice. That shouldn't hit, but
I think I was pressing. I think if I remember,
uh-huh.
I think he got me a poor movement there at the very end.
Yeah.
I don't remember pressing there.
Mm-hmm. Small movements to get away from the wall will help prevent that. When you're playing against Steve and backdashing to deny him counter hits and like make it hard for him to hit you, you want to be cognizant back is to keep that off. Like keep off the wall.
Mm. Oh yeah, that's from Discord, by the way.
You good? No.
I mean, from this recording.
Yeah. Right, and then I noticed the wall is coming up, so I'm trying to. Oh, punch parry. Sucks. Could have rage drive that 1+2.
Oh, sorry.
He could have punished your 1+2 with rage drive, but yeah, that was a lot better. So it's
Yeah,
really
those are just the two replays.
yeah,
At least for
it's
Steve, anyway.
really just a matter of forcing yourself to play as tiny as possible. Like you like if you were to really just block, like completely unplug your controller and stand block, Steve has to work so hard to kill you. Like he has peekaboo down 1, he has regular down 1, he has down 2-1, down back 2 is reactable, so not a big deal. And then he has
Yep.
like the stomp, right? The stomp is range 0,
Yeah.
and we're backdashing, so that really should not hit. So really, it takes him maybe like 18 lows to kill us or something. And any one of those low parried turns into 5 of those lows of damage for us, right? So you really do not want to. The priority number 1 should be not dying to the counter hits, and then the second goal is like how do I kill him? But not letting him, not like playing big slow hitboxes into his, well, the like the reward of his kit is like hoping that you do that.
Right.
So by denying that, you force him to find a way to kill you, and that's where the opportunities show up. That's where he starts overextending offense into your up forward 1. That's where he starts whiffing. That's where he goes low enough times that he gets predictable. So you want to play that side of the game more than what do I want to do.
Mm.
Yeah. It's not a crazy complicated approach, but it's very different, especially as a character like Noctis. We're usually the ones driving, right? And usually the ones like in a lot of control. And we can be against Steve, but it's a different kind of control. It's not where we're able to do whatever move we want and they have to hold it. It's more like we have to we want to laugh at them while we move away and watch them try to hit us.
Right.
And then
right.
punish them for doing it poorly. But yeah.
Okay, I see. Because I remember at least the chat. I don't know if that was this week or last week, where like there was a big discussion that you and someone else had in the Discord about just standing against Steve. Can't remember when this was, but
I think I was actually talking to somebody else about it in my Discord, but it was a similar thing.
Right. Let me see if I can find this other replay here.
Yeah, and if you can't find it, we can save the time, and you can try and play Frizzen again or something, and we can like re-review now that you have kind of an approach.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, he's usually pretty busy nowadays, but I'll definitely try and see whenever he's free again. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Oh, there we go.
Oh, here we go. So your Paul QCF3 is his main thing, main low that we're kind of concerned about. Ooh, yeah, he didn't punish. Jesus. Oh. You'll want to try to find against Paul with punishes on QC, like the quarter circle back 4 like that, and on his down 4
Yeah.
too. He has launch on your -14, so that's good to be aware of. Usually against Paul, I am actually playing my game with 2-2 and stuff like that, and trying not to run into counter hit QCF3 and QCB4. If I can play around those, then I'm usually winning. and then not overzealously charging into his down forward 2. I'm playing around with the idea of using down back 1/1+2 a lot more. I was watching Knee play. He was
Yeah, he
doing.
used it a lot.
Oh yeah, you saw the set. Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
funny. I think the logic is if you're playing against somebody who won't play into 2/2, then you hit the down back 1/1+2, save your frames, and are still able to move around a bit.
Mm.
I think that's the logic. But in my experience in EU, people are always playing into 2/2 So oh, oh, run that round back. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Random clip is fine. Activity on wake up, and then now this situation. So here, as I get up, my priority. You can keep playing. My priority is kind of that 1/2 is an opportunity, as like he's giving up more frames to like jab out and move out.
Mm.
But honestly, that's really not that big of a deal. The biggest killer was kind of the wake up kick and that getting to the wall.
Yeah.
In general, I saw we were seeing it against Steve too. It was like wake up, hit a button, or like hit a button to wake up. And those things, wow, that was crazy. Those things costing a lot of HP and reducing your chances to find a counter hit or to find a whiff later are kind of the a big source of trouble. So that's probably the one, I guess, common theme I'm seeing across both is like, yeah, just like activity on wake up. Tame that a bit, save it for when you really can get something out of it. Like here, I'm not sure how that clipped you, but like those are the kinds of things we want to avoid.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the way that his buttons are like intercepting you constantly, 2/2 I would probably not lean into as much as up forward 1 or like a backdash whiff punish in this case because he is very he's telegraphing that he's willing to play buttons. So I would be looking for up forward 1 is super good unless they're spamming QCF3. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can duck second hit if you're see that coming. So this is an important thing to be observant of. Rewind about 10 seconds.
You're a bit too far back.
So there's a part where you do a 2/2, and he is like mid counter hit coming out, and you want to be like cognizant of here. Oh no, I'm sorry. Going.
Oh, back. Oh, okay.
I lied. I was wrong. It's like here, I think. There. You see how he
Yeah.
put out the button right as you dashed up 2/2'd? That's important because that tells you that could be a situation where you choose to dash up or like pretend you're about to dash up and then just back up. Then he has a giant whiff that gives you something. That could be run up forward 1, but you have a sense that okay, like I got him to hit a button, so it's not just that my 2/2 clipped him; it's that like he was mid keep out attempt.
Doing something, yeah. Right.
So not in necessarily a situation where you need to dump a lot of mental resources to like cover that, but more when he gives you information like that can later turn into a giant read more than it had to right now, right? Like right now you do 2/2 because you don't know what he's going to do necessarily. It covers if he just ducks, if he's moving, and if he comes in. Now we have an idea that, hey, if I run up to him like this, he might try to keep me out. So I can make a harder read with like just do nothing with punish, right?
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, keep going. It's more like a opportunity for higher reward on a harder read. Yep. Good decision. Yeah. You see how he did it again? That was almost exactly what I was talking about. You ran up and did nothing, and then his QCB4 whiffed. You didn't get the whiff punish super cleanly, but that's fine. Like that is exactly what I was hoping would get played on. While sending 1/2, and then now you can try and get a sense if that's going to continue to be a mistake. So these down forward 2s he was throwing out, those are also things you want to train to whiff punish because that's his like safer but closer range keep out, kind of like the QCB4 was there, like that. So you want to develop that proficiency to whiff punish that because then he really loses so many options to keep you out, and you can be in like crazy control.
Right.
And let me challenge it for disadvantage. Yeah. Because in the neutral, you're on the edge of outplaying him, right? Because you're moving in a way where he thinks you're coming in, and then he's whiffing. That's like step one, and then you need the proficiency to capitalize. Oop. Scary challenge, but it worked.
Yeah, sometimes I can catch people out. Sometimes I'll do one side and one, and then delay the two
Mm-hmm.
at the very end because it'll catch people out. Or and then if they find that out while selling one up forwards, up forward, fucking up. What am I? Up forward one. Up forward one. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. I do
Yeah.
the same thing. So it can be scary with like character like Paul because his 12 frame punish can wall splat, right? So situationally can be a good attempt, but in a back to the wall situation like that, that'll be horrifying.
Yeah, very risky there.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah, perfect. Yeah, those are really all the replays I really wanted to go
Okay,
over myself.
that's kind of perfect. So we have like about like 35 minutes remaining. So why don't you get some more VODs and then schedule again? You can do the free option or whatever, or just message me and we'll find a time. We'll find a time.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, I
We'll
don't
do.
think you were doing. I don't think you're like there's one specific thing to fix basically versus Steve, and then once that happens, I don't think you'll have too much trouble. Um, and then yeah, keep grinding out that whiff punishment because the way you move and the way you play sets up that, and then so having that next is really important. So
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Thank you.
it will.
Yeah, no.
Well, the term I wanted is it'll round out your game, and I think we
Yeah,
mentioned that a bit briefly before, but even more so. I'm continuing to see you generate so many whiffs, and yeah, capitalizing on those is going to make it really disgusting to play against you.
definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's good to have that to round out my game, but now, especially so since I've gone to a few like offline tournaments now. I mean, it's only just working on like with punishment in general, but now it's just general, just tournament stuff. So like, for example, practicing on P2
Yeah.
because although I've done a little bit of that, obviously it can be much better as I witnessed by going 0-2 because of the fact that even though there were characters I were familiar against, I was just not very good on P2.
Yeah.
So yeah, doing that, general character knowledge, where to like what strings to duck, what's the general. Because I can tell at least with the games that I played, I'm pretty sure that's a high, like the string that ends with a high or something. But obviously it's kind of hard to test that mid tournament.
Yeah. If you're in a tournament, I wouldn't. Up to
Yeah.
you whether you want to test it or not.
Mm.
In ranked and stuff like that, I would definitely test that stuff out as much as possible. You'll get so much
Yeah,
out of it. Yeah.
definitely. It's just that and like character knowledge especially because now I'm versing a lot more characters now
Right.
that I haven't really versed before in ranks. Like I'm seeing more. Versed the Gigas offline, a Panda offline now. Um, Zafina, I like never see Zafina at least at my sort of rank.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to lab against those like niche picked characters, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you can save a lot of time too by like watching other players' online footage of those characters.
Mm.
It'll save you so much time to see the situations that tend to come up more than just the raw moves because the way, especially a lot of the lower meta characters, the scary part comes from how the player, the pilot, strings together their offense in a way that makes you either forget about certain things or worry about other things.
Mm.
And you can see which ones are kind of like frequently used, and then you could see which ones kind of aren't. Because if it's not being frequently used, you can kind of infer like, okay, there's probably a defensive counter that makes this worthless.
Yeah. Right, yeah, perfect. No, appreciate your time as always.
Yeah, cheers,
Glad that
bro.
we managed to finally get this about my PC blowing up for once.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, hopefully that continues to work well, and good luck. And let me know. I'm curious how it goes.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Thanks, man.
Cheers, bro.
Catch you later.
Yeah, bye.